Congratulations to David Benavidez on a sensational victory. Congratulations to Caleb Plant for being an ultimate warrior. The sport of boxing is in a great place. In this video, I will tell you what we learned about David Benavidez, what we learned about Caleb Plant, Showtime and the PBC. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Let's go. Like I said before, y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Let's get right into the content. Saturday night was a spectacular night for the sport of boxing. David Benavidez defeats Caleb Plant via unanimous decision. Now, I want to address the video that I put out just before the fight started. And I stated this. I was leaning towards Caleb Plant because we've seen more from him. We've seen him be in tough situations. We've seen him lose. We see him come back and look great. Always in shape, always a professional. But I stated it's a coin flip fight, a 50-50 fight, where there's truly enough variables involved to where it's tough to make a hard line pick. I'm picking so-and-so to win by X. I don't think that opportunity existed as such. I also stated that Caleb Plant would be the type of fighter to educate us on who David Benavidez really is in a win or a loss. We were going to learn something about David Benavidez, and he did not disappoint. Now, Showtime PBC, this is the preeminent spot if you want to watch quality boxing cards from top to bottom. Great fights, great matchups, meaningful setups, great shoulder programming, really getting, boxing fans, casuals or otherwise, excited about an upcoming event. They know how to do business in the sport of boxing. So if you are a BOK Prime who's still trying to break through, or you're a DAZN, Showtime is the example. I don't think we need to have any more conversations about what it looks like to put on great cards. I know that people were bothered by the Chris Colbert fight and what appears to be a legitimate robbery. Maybe they run it back. I'm not sure, but Colbert might be broken. The loss to Hector Luis Garcia, that might have derailed all of his momentum. It's crazy to say that, but he just doesn't look himself at the moment. Getting back to Plant Benavidez. David Benavidez won for 3 reasons. He was patient, he was responsible, he was undeterred. Caleb Plant, first half of the fight, looked sensational. Really came out, did whatever he wanted to do, picked his spots, pot shot a little bit. When he found opportunities for combinations, he was able to execute those. He looked physically strong. He looked really good in there. David Benavidez showed different wrinkles, things he hasn't shown in fights before because he really hasn't had to. In this fight, he had to get into his bag completely and demonstrate that he is indeed himself a complete fighter. The first half of that fight, Benavidez had to be defensive, be patient, and really pick his spots. The CompuBox numbers, and I'll post them here, will show you essentially what happens. You see a tight land rate percentage through the first 5 or 6 rounds, and then you see the gap widening between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. The primary difference maker for David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant is David Benavidez was physically stronger than Caleb Plant. When Plant started getting hit with big shots, you saw him react very poorly. Not like he didn't know what he was doing, but you can tell that he was being hurt by the shots. Once Benavidez was able to find him a little better, pressure him more efficiently, and land those heavy shots over and over and over again, his confidence started to grow. He knew he was in a position to win this fight going away and ultimately seal the deal for himself. Caleb Plant was the type of fighter to make us learn that David Benavidez is not just fast hand combination puncher that's tough. He's more than that. He can box. He utilizes jab. He out-jabbed Caleb Plant significantly over the course of this bout. He boxed, he moved well, and he showed defensive responsibility, something that I think a lot of you would agree that he hasn't demonstrated or shown before in the past. Caleb Plant made David Benavidez a better fighter, point blank period. This is why it's so crucial, why you have to have the best fighters fighting the best fighters on the planet. I love the message from Caleb Plant at the end of the fight. Hey, I feel great. I feel good. He was a better man. We definitely had some real life beef. You can't go 12 rounds with a fighter like this and perform the way that he did and I did and not have some sort of mutual respect. And that was established in the ring. So I definitely love seeing that. Caleb Plant is what all fighters should aspire to be. Challenging himself at any point in time. He just had back-to-back legitimately tough fights. The Canelo loss, the Durrell knockout that he scored, and then this UD loss he just suffered to undefeated David Benavidez. And in none of those fights did he look like he was completely and utterly overmatched. I would say even though he got stopped by Canelo, this fight with Benavidez, he had to really gut that one out and have a tremendous amount of heart and show that he's there for a reason. If you're not Canelo, if you are not David Benavidez, I don't know who beats Caleb Plant. I really don't. You have to probably knock him out viciously inside of 5 rounds. He is very, very complete. He ran up against 2 guys. One, Canelo, used to be the face of boxing, still a great champion, undisputed at 168 pounds. And then David Benavidez, who's only ever beaten himself, undefeated fighter with a unique skill set. And now we know he has more in his toolbox. David Benavidez, it's got to be pound for pound at this point. I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about that, but Caleb Plant's a great fighter. Most people are avoiding David Benavidez at 168. I'm confident he could compete at 75 and become a champion there. That is what pound for pound is. Knowing a guy can go up and down the ladder and be dominant. I think that's David Benavidez. And I was checking out some content a little while ago from BFTB. He stated, "I'll believe David Benavidez can get beat when I see him get beat." And I think that's the position that David Benavidez has put himself into. I did a video quite some time ago and I stated it was about Canelo Benavidez, which is another conversation and another video for another day. But I feel like David Benavidez, and this was before this performance, maybe even walks through Canelo. I mean, he's young. He's 26 years old. He's big and strong. If he remains disciplined, he could be next in the sport of boxing. I think he's a great sell. He's under a great promotion, and he's really done his thing to put himself in a position to be recognized as one of the best guys today in the sport of boxing. A difficult task for any fighter between 68 and 75. He's not making 60, so we don't have to talk about that. But I want to send a shout out to my man Caleb Plant. He's real. He's a champion. No shame in his game whatsoever. This is what the sport of boxing is about. I love the sportsmanship at the end of the bout, and excited about what the future holds. It's early in the year. This is definitely a fight of the year contender. It's March. We got Tank Ryan coming up, Errol Spence announcement coming up, action in the heavyweight division as well. A lot of stuff happening. Cool Boy Foyton, NOA, so much happening in the sport of boxing. This is your boy JG. This has been the Punch Report. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified. We out.